Welcome everybody to a special election edition of the Lexit War Room. We have a special guest, Diego Martinez. We want to get everybody a platform. We want to give everybody a chance to be known. A lot of times when candidates don't come with big money, you're not going to see the commercials. You're not going to see ads showing what they've done or whatever. So we're giving them a platform just like Trump did with social media. And Lexit here, we're the biggest Latino conservative movement in the nation. We're trying to give everybody a platform. And thank you, brother. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks both of you guys for, first of all, it's an honor to be on your guys' show and that I get to share a platform with you guys. Thank you very much. Highly appreciated and very welcoming to see other Latinos trying to move ahead in the Republican world, in the conservative world, and trying to make California better. Thank you guys.
We appreciate it, bro. So before we get started, before we start asking you some questions, tell us a little bit about your background, where you came from, and why you decided to throw your hat in the ring.
Well, my name is Diego Martinez. I'm an immigrant. I come from Uruguay. I am bilingual, and I was in the United States with the green card, and I became a U.S. citizen in 2008. So I understand when we talk about immigration. I'm a small business owner. I started my business about 6 years ago. Before that, I was a general manager at car dealerships. I was in the auto industry for about 17 years. I worked myself up from a salesman all the way to general manager, was a finance manager. So I understand business. So then you have, why would you run for governor? I mean, where's the screws loose here? Because, California's a big state. And you have all these people who are well-known, have a lot more money than you running for the same job. What they don't have is what we have. Everybody in this room, everybody who's listening to this, we have the pain of going out every day and earning a living. We have to go out and work. We have to figure out how we're going to pay all our bills, support our families. Somebody said, you're not essential. Well, who the hell is that person to tell us who is and who isn't essential? Everybody's essential to their family. Everybody's essential to their kids. We're essential people. When Government Brown tried to shut down my industry, I'm like, man, how can one man with the stroke of a pen unemploy 10,000 people, not caring about their families, not caring about everything? And then Gavin Newsom comes into office and he does it worse. He shuts all our businesses down. And I said, enough's enough. Enough is enough of the career politicians. Do I qualify? Am I qualified to run California? We looked at California. I said, if I look at California like a business, I'm more than qualified to run California because I know the problems. I know how to fix them. And there's solutions. There's real California solutions for real California problems. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at how to fix California for the solid, not for just a Band-Aid, not to get elected, not just to win ratings. Because the reality is I'm going to do my term and let the next person come behind me and do a better job than what I did. And I hope the person behind that person does a better job because this is about a better lifestyle for everybody in California. We are getting taxed to death, and it's a shame.
Wow, that's great to hear. And we're just glad that you came on our show. Like I said, A-Rod said that we're going to try to give all the other candidates besides Bruce Jenner a platform because the fake media and the establishment seems to all be pushing for him. So we're going to give all you guys a little platform. But I wanted to talk to you about, we all know what one of the big issues were with Gavin Newsom, why a lot of people turned against him was these lockdowns and the COVID and all this that's going on over in California. I just want to get your thoughts on how he handled that and what do you think about all the lockdowns and all that?
Well, you know what? I didn't have all the information he had. So playing Monday night quarterback is really easy. So what I would have to say is I'd probably do the same thing he did for the first 2 weeks. Probably would have locked us down for the first 2 weeks. But after that, I think I would have really listened to the science. I would have looked at a state like South Dakota who stayed open. Their cases never spiked high. Their economy raised. I would have actually brought us back to work. I would have worked with all 58 counties because you got 58 counties and 58 different solutions for the COVID. We would have gone down to each county and we would have talked to each county and health directors and made it where you can go back out. You need to go back out. Our immune system need to develop, but keeping a better eye on what's going on and where the sectors are spiking up. At that point, that's where you start closing down or pushing back a little bit about what's going on with everything else, if that makes sense. So I would have taken each sector and worked with each county. We would have been open. but maybe one county would have been a little bit more modified than another one because their cases spiked up. Maybe we would have just left it open because there were not enough cases spiking up. But we said that our hospitals were full, yet they were laying off nurses. So how can your hospitals be full when you're laying off nurses? It doesn't make sense. So I think it got handled wrong. I think it even went worse when he turned around and he re-shut us down in December after he was out having dinner with his friends. I think it went worse when he decided to say nobody could come over other than 6 people could come over to your house for Thanksgiving. But look at me, I'm over here. When he asked my neighbors to snitch on us. We're adults, we're human beings, and we should be able to make our own decisions. Government has overreached into our livelihoods and into our household. This needs to come to a stop.
Exactly, especially when we see how things in Florida and Texas just put out the numbers, and they've been open all the time. Like even I was just in Arizona, people are walking around no mask, nothing like that. All these other ones, and the numbers are going down. But yet this tyrant over here, he continues to be having us locked down. Like there's a park right here by my house. The park's still locked down. We can't even go to the park right here. But so he's just ridiculous. But go ahead, A-Rod.
Yeah, bro. So I talked to Jesse before this, and I think what we wanted to do was ask questions that the reason why there's a special election is because Gavin Newsom blew it. So we want to see basically what would you have done in this situation? You know what I mean? So some of the questions are going to be geared to that. So my next question is, Gavin Newsom is allowing the push for COVID vaccine to be mandatory for a lot of different things like work, school, and shopping, etc. What would you do different as governor? What would you do different as far as all of a sudden you see something coming out and it's like, boom, they're saying schools, whatever, they're forcing it, you know, you can't go into certain businesses. Are you going to leave it alone? Are you going to say, you know, nope, this is not going to happen? What are you going to do?
All right. So first of all, we're going to be transparent, which you don't see that. Anybody who comes with the bill to my desk is going to be like we are right now, live, talking to the California taxpayers, talking to the California people who voted them in office. Because politicians need to remember, it's us, the taxpayers who got them. Their job is us who pay their salary every day. They actually need to listen to what we have going on. That's our first mistake in government. Nobody's listening to the average person. Nobody's listening to the people who's paying their wages. So the first thing is when a bill comes up, everybody in California is going to get to know it. I do not believe in mandating anything. I don't think that you have to have a vaccination to go to work. I don't think an employer has that right to infringe that on you or me. I think our freedoms are being stomped on and our constitution is getting spit on, and we need to fight back. And fighting back is getting the right people in office to say enough's enough. Our rights need to come back, and the people in California need to have their freedom, because that's what they're taking away from us. They're taking away our freedoms. When they tell you you have to have this vaccination to come to work, they took your freedom away, because now you don't have that choice to say, no, I don't want that vaccination. I don't believe in it. When there's some people dying from it, it might not be a good thing to get in your body. So I would address it 100% different. We'd let everybody in California know exactly what's going on before we implement anything. And when an employer tells me my employees have to have this, no, they don't. You don't have to have a California license to work here, because we will not let you infringe on somebody's rights and privileges. And now you're working into their religious rights, because if that's like a place saying you have to stand up every day and say the Pledge of Allegiance. You have to stand up every day and say a prayer when you come to here. You can't do that in employment. That's violating civil rights. And that's what they're doing, telling you need to have a vaccination in you.
Yeah, and a lot of speaking to the religious people, a lot of people were really upset. A lot of people that looked at church as essential were really upset when the liquor stores were staying open, bro. I mean, we'll be honest with you. You know, we're like, wow, we got to stay home. But yeah, the liquor stores were open. They're essential. And then I think transparency, like you said, is key, because right away when they were like, we're listening to the science, and we were like, well, who's the science? Who told you that a liquor store was essential, but not God? So I think transparency is definitely the key. Yeah, transparency is definitely key, because when government says this is what it is, and the science is some mythical thing that you can't see, you know, some invisible ideology that you don't know where it's coming from, all of a sudden you start to question government. You know what I mean? You're like looking at it like, I don't know about all this.
Well, you look at South Dakota. They never shut down. Their economy's through the roof. Their cases are the lowest. Florida, Texas, we could just keep naming off. other than California. What they're trying to do is destroy the middle class in California, because that's how socialism starts, dependent on the government. And that's what a lot of people are right now. We're depending on the government for our water. How the hell are we on a drought when we're dumping water into the ocean every day? How is it that Mendocino County has to get water trucked in when we're dumping water in the ocean? We're not in a drought. This is a man-made drought, and we need to stop it. And we need to stop it before there is no water left for us to stop. California is one of the richest states with water, and it's one of the only states that dumps it into the ocean. We have desalination plants that were down south that Government Brown shut down. We have enough water to run California. We have enough water to put some in storage. California should have 3 years of water in the reservoir before we throw 1 penny of water away into the ocean. We should have the desalination plants reopened to create jobs. But not only that, Arizona and Nevada are going to need the water. They could pay California for the water, and we could get more people in California employed. It's enough. It's time that the people of California take California back and get our damn rights back, because they're getting trampled on every day. And we have nobody in either side of the parties fighting for anybody. Us, the people, us, the patriots, are now raising our voice and trying to fight for them. No, it's time that we get a voice in Sacramento, and that voice is Diego Martinez. And I will not rest till we get there. I will not rest till we get our rights back. And I will fire the Secretary of State, and I will fire the Attorney General, and the new Attorney General will prosecute every damn DA who didn't do their job during Black Lives Matters riots, because that's their job, to prosecute people and put law and order back here.
Exactly, man. That's so good to hear. And speaking of patriots, I wanted to talk to you about, we know there's been a major problem in the conservative movement, or the Republican Party recently, with all these spineless, coward rhinos backstabbing Trump and just all how they are. Want to get your thoughts. I know a lot of viewers, we don't want no more rhinos in there. We want patriots, good candidates in there, no more rhinos. So what are your thoughts on all these rhinos, and what do you think the Republican Party should be doing to help to reach Latinos more? Because they've been doing a terrible job of that in the past.
Well, let's start with the rhinos. First of all, if you're a rhino, you're going to lose your job, because I'm going to go out and I'm going to recruit the right people to replace you. We need people with a little backbone. We need people that are here for the people of California. So we got to get rid of term limits, because what happens is these politicians get in there, they make a lifelong career out of this, and they get caught up, sucked up in the money, the special interest groups, and they forget about who really got them there. All of a sudden, they're living high on the high horse. How the hell do you make $100 grand, $200 grand a year, and you own $3 million houses? When you weren't a millionaire when you got into office? That program has to come to a stop, and it stops by us recruiting and getting the right people in office. So if you're a Republican and we consider you a rhino, which down south, out in your over there in Bakersfield, we just elected one. Okay, here's the problem: if you're a Republican, stand with the Republican Party, whether you like it or not. It's not your job whether to like it, but it's your job to respect it, and it's your job to respect the people who voted you in. What happened to Taylor Greene, it's a shame, it's embarrassing, and you're almost embarrassed to call yourself a Republican, because what, they let that lady hang out to dry? Yeah, Maxine Water goes to another
Trump
state.
out to dry, brother.
Huh?
They left Trump out to dry, but go ahead.
We're right back to that here in a minute. All right, we ain't done yet, all right? We'll come back to that here. Give me a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
But you have Maxine Waters, who goes to another state, interferes in a trial, telling people, hey, go over there and do this, go over there and do that. Hell no. And guess what? Nothing happened to her. Now you have our president. The president was the lead, the chief and commander of the Republican Party. And the Republican Party turned their back on him. Not only they turned their back on him, Valadares, who wanted I'll say his damn name, I don't give a fuck. Valadares, who wanted his endorsement, goes and shoves a knife in his back. Dude, have some self-respect. Get your huevos where they belong and actually tighten them up. Tell your wife to give them out of her purse so you can carry them with you, or carry her damn purse, because this is bullshit. McCarthy, the head of the Republican Party, come on. Stand up. Be a Republican. Be a man. But stand up for the people who voted you in. They incited. They impeached Trump twice, but they had no proof.
Exactly.
This cannot continue. And this continuing from people who, guess what? oh, I just want to save my job. I could do so much better. Hell no. You want to do better? Show that you have a backbone. Show that you stand up for something. Because if you don't have a job in 4 years because you stood up for something, at least you could say, guess what? I turned up for something. I am here. I stood my ground. This is what I believe in. It is disappointing to watch all these people go and kiss his ring, go kiss his butt, get an endorsement, get hired, and then turn their back on him. That's a shame. In the Republican Party, you know what the problem with the Republican Party is when it comes to Latinos? They want us to vote. They want us to be there, but they don't want to support Latinos to get ahead. The California GOP doesn't even want to look at me because I'm not white and because I don't have millions of dollars in the bank. Not because I can't get the job done, because if they talk to me, they'd understand that I, a Latino, can get the job done. That's why there hasn't been a Latino governor in the state of California since 1875, and the guy only became governor because the governor took a senator's job. Now, why is it a shame that the first senator from California that's a Hispanic got brought up by a Democrat? And it just happened. This is history that's being made. You want to talk about history? Latinos own 70% of California, and we're getting screwed. It's time that the Latinos, we unite, we come together, and we do it for the common purpose of somebody who has our best interest in mind, not theirs. And the worst part is when you get lied to as a Hispanic. Exactly. You get lied to all the time. We get used. And guess what? At the end of the day, they forget about us. But now when they need us to vote, they remember about us. And all the people who voted for a Democrat, stop. Guess what they're doing? They're using you as a bullseye, as hatred. When Gavin Newsom turned around and said, I'm going to give $125 million to illegal aliens for COVID relief, who do they think of? Us, Latinos, the people who voted for that idiot. They think about us. So the guy we voted for, the guy we stood for that was supposed to do something for us, turned around and put a big-ass bullseye on us, saying that we're a bunch of mantenidos and that we're here for free loafing and all we want is free. We don't want nothing for free. The only thing we want is the freedom to stay in this damn country, put our heads down, go to work, worship God, build our businesses, and build our families. That's the only free we want. We want a free opportunity, and it's getting taken away from us with idiots like that talking like that about us.
Exactly. Right. See, that's why I wish the Republic, like you said, see, they overlook us too, the GOP. We go through that all the time. A-Rod knows. And yeah, like they should be helping. We need to get more patriots in there. Instead, they always continue to go after these establishment rhinos. But go ahead, A-Rod.
Yeah, real quick side note. That's why I'm proud to be a part of this movement. And Jesse has started the biggest conservative Latino movement in America. And people don't realize Lexit is the Latino exit from the Democratic Party. And it doesn't mean go to the Republican Party, because we can vote for somebody that has our values. That could be independent, it could be anything. But the reason why is because we understood Latinos, we want to work. We want to work hard. We don't want handouts. We're conservative by nature. We don't want to sit here and see our America go a certain way. That this is the reason why people came over here, is for the American dream, and they're not understanding that's being shredded. So my question to you is this, bro, because let's just be honest. I was hearing you earlier say that you're going to fire, get rid of the rhinos. This and that. I think one of the biggest problems President Trump made was putting the wrong people around him, right? Not knowing who to trust. If you were elected governor, who would you put around you? What groups would you use? Like, as far as, and I mean, not legs, I'm just saying, like, groups, like, is there certain GOP groups? Because I noticed that when you get in, sometimes it's like you see politicians have to play ball, and they go down this road, and then it's like, bye, we'll never see that guy again. You know what I mean? So is there a plan that you have in place where I'm not working with this group, I'm going to work with this group? Or, you're just gonna sniff it out as you go.
Well, one thing I learned in the car business, when I went into a car dealership, everybody wanted to fire you. Even the car washer who didn't even know you. You just got hired today to come here and change a dealership around. Everybody and their grandmother wants to be fired, right? They haven't even met you. So you got to look at this the same way. We're going into a place where I'm a Republican. The Democrats do not want me there. They don't. So the first move is to take care of the Secretary of State so we can actually get voter fraud fixed. We got to get that fixed. If anything I do, that'll be it. The second thing is we get the Attorney General, because both of these people were appointed right now. And you will not hear any other Republican person going out talking about any of this because they don't want anybody to know, because they don't want to know that they actually have the authority to fix this for once we can fix this. But they don't want to talk about it because you guys have had other people on your show. They don't even mention it. Both of these people were appointed by Gavin Newsom. Both of these people can get fired by Diego Martinez. I can appoint my own people. We have to rerun in 2022 and get reelected. But during that cycle, I can fix voter fraud, and I can put a law in place that you have to have voter ID and show that you're a U.S. citizen to vote.
Sure.
Isn't that what we all bitch about? And we say, well, how are we going to fix it? Here's our fix. Now's the time to do it. If you really want to fix, now's the time that we can do it. We actually, the door's open for us to be able to do it. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to work with what I have to work with for the first 8 months till 2022 comes around. Now, what happens at that point is, what we do is we reelect. During the 2022 campaign, I'm going to go out and I'm going to help other Republicans, other people run and be able to get elected into their office. They're actually going to have an endorsement. They're going to have a partner out there campaigning with them. I'm going to do something that nobody's been able to do. I'm going to unite us. A whole new freshman class of people going into the assembly, a freshman class going into the assembly. We're going to look at districts that we can win, and we're going to come together. We're going to win those districts, and we're going to split the assembly. We're going to have enough Democrats and enough Republicans so that everybody has equal representation. I'm going to get the right people to work around me to manage certain departments because we need that. And not only do we need that, I need to be able to inspect what I expect out of everybody. That means I have to check up on what's going on. I have to be in the middle of everything. People call it micromanaging. I'm calling it inspecting what I expect out of everybody and making sure that each department's moving in the right direction. I can't ask you, Jesse, to take care of the water, and 3 weeks later, nothing's been done. And you don't have an idea what's going on. That's my fault because I haven't been at you and saying, hey, Jesse, what do we got going on today? How are we doing this? What's the plan? What's the time frame? When can we move this along, right? The same thing with the guy I'm going to have building the wall. Where are we at? Well, we haven't. Good. You're fired. Let's get somebody else in here. Donald Trump's, one of his biggest problems, I think, that he made a mistake was surrounding himself with the same people over and over again and not really having that strong base. I almost was disappointed with him coming from The Apprentice, from what I remember of Donald Trump at The Apprentice. I figured he'd be a more like, you're fired. Let's get the next guy in here, right? I think
he did fire a lot.
He did fire a lot.
Part that we missed with Donald Trump. I think the strong business person, he tried to be a politician. I have no interest in being a politician. I'm a business person. I got one business to do. I got to regenerate California. I got to cut all the regulations in California so we can bring some industry. I got to get some trade schools in here, some opportunity jobs for people to go back to work. My main mission is to be able to sit in front of you guys and say, guess what, guys? California has the lowest unemployment rate across the board. I'm not talking about sections. I'm not talking about men, women, black, white, Hispanics. We're all Californians. Because one of the worst things you could do is Hispanic unemployment is at its lowest. Where's black unemployment? Oh, who cares? Or they're over here too. You know what? I care about each and every single Californian that pays taxes. That's what I care about. Not your color, not your race, not who the hell you are. I care about you as an individual and as a person, not by your skin color. And that's what we're lacking in California.
I like that. I like what you just said, and I wrote it down, and I think that is a perfect strategy. I think a lot of times what happens is it's kind of like it's referring. I was talking to Jesse because we're always talking about that gang culture. It's harder when you're fighting 100 dudes, right? But it's easier to fight them when they're at their house to stand by themselves in the front line. And I think that what you just said by attacking them locally, see, if we get all these people from California elected and they go down to D.C., well, it's hard to get them out because they're all over there together. But if we can get them while they're here in their own district and get enough people to run against them and attack them, we won't have as big a problem in D.C. when it comes to attacking Congress or going after them. And I think that's the way to do it. You can't do nothing down there in DC, but you can do it here locally. I think that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of our viewers are probably really interested to know, okay, where do you stand? What are your views on the Second Amendment and also on school choice?
All right, let's start with school choice, and then I'll show you my Second Amendment stand, all right? First of all, school choice, I think right now we need it because our education sucks. So I think everybody should have a school choice. With that being said, I am actually going to redefine our school system in California. I'm going to do something nobody has the balls to do other than the late Ronald Reagan, and I'm going to stand up to the school unions. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to stand up to the school unions because the school unions need somebody to stand up to them, and it's very simple. I'm going to put them all together in a room. I'm going to say, I need you guys to go back to school tomorrow. No more restrictions, no more crap. Let's get back down to work. And they're going to tell me no. They're going to find every excuse in the book why they can't go. And I'm going to say, I respect your decision, and I think you guys are right. I accept all your resignations. Don't worry about coming back to school tomorrow. Then we're going to start over. Then we're going to inspect what we expect out of our superintendents, our principals, our vice principals, and our school teachers. We're also going to bring respect back to the classrooms where the teachers feel they're respected by their kids that are there learning. Because otherwise, you got nothing. If the teachers aren't respected, they're not wanting to teach. Why would you want to teach a bunch of disrespectful kids? So we have got to bring that back to school. We have got to also take away the participation stance that they get. People get participation awards. Well, guess what, little Johnny? You went through the third grade and you didn't pass. You're not going to the fourth grade. You're going back to the third grade. You're going to go to summer school and you're going to get your shit in gear. Because guess what? We want you to be a successful member of society. We don't want you to be the best guy on Xbox, but I do want you to have a good job and a good career when we get done, because we're failing our kids, not them. We are, because we're not holding their feet to the fire of what they're supposed to do. Now, let's talk about the Second Amendment real quick. I don't know. How do you guys think I feel about it?
A-Rod.
That's nice.
And that is just my Western collection. Okay? So that I tell you how I feel about the Second Amendment.
Exactly. Yeah, you're just talking about words, but yeah. Speaking about the school unions, we all know that they're just run by radical leftists. And like, what are your thoughts? Because I know we don't want them to be pushing that that racist, critical race theory nonsense bull crap. That they should not, this Marxist bull crap. Plus, they be trying to put like anal sex for minor, like they're teaching anal sex in the little schools and all that. So we do it. We need somebody to stand up to these these leftist school unions.
All right, so let's talk about we can talk about that here a little bit. The biggest problem that we have is that we're letting people who aren't qualified teach your kid about sexuality. Okay? They're not psychologists. So how can you tell me what sexuality I am? How can you tell me what I'm thinking if you have no indication that you're certified to be a psychologist? So our teachers need to go back to teaching their curriculum, math, science, English, home ec, whatever they're teaching other than sexuality. Sexuality should never be getting taught at schools. Transgender kids need to stay out of female sports. They need to, if you're a boy, you go to a boys' bathroom. If you're a girl, you go to a girl's bathroom. If I catch a teacher, if I find out a teacher is teaching anything other than what they're supposed to, they will no longer have a job. And that's the beautiful thing about getting rid of the teachers union. That's why that is so important. We have got to destroy the teachers union. We have got to take their control out, and we have got to take the control back to the parents and the school boards that really deserve it, so we can actually see what's going on there. Tender is no tender. You're not going to take a bad school teacher from a good school district and put him in a bad school district. You know what? Those bad kids or that bad district is kids, and they're our future, and they deserve the same education as everybody else, not just because you're a bad teacher over here. Oh, we're going to put you over there. Hell no. If you're a bad teacher here, you're going to end up somewhere. It's going to be unemployment. There's a nice line waiting for you. And that's it. There's no second chance of this crap. Like, we don't want a bad cop from one district to another, do we? No, we don't want a bad teacher. That's our future. You're putting our future in the hand of a bad person, of a person who don't give a rat's. Because we're poor, because we're living in the south side of town? Hell no. Those are going to be the best schools. You know why? Because those parents are just like our parents. They care. They're going to get involved. We're going to actually show them what they're supposed to be teaching, and they're actually going to do something about the teachers not teaching their kids.
Exactly, because they're just indoctrinating kids. That's all that they're doing now at all these schools, especially the colleges. But go ahead, A-Rod.
All right, brother, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good, because I couldn't hear Jess right now. I'm like, what's going on? Okay, so we're almost up on time, and then we're gonna jump on IG, Lexit on IG. So we're gonna give everybody on IG a chance. So real quick, bro, tell us why Diego Martinez is the best possible choice for governor in California, brother. Tell us.
Exactly. Speak to all of our supporters so they can hear it.
You know, the real thing is this. I tell everybody the same thing. I'm a blue collar worker just like you are. I understand why the taxes are killing us. I'm about business. I'm about money and business. First thing, we're going to deregulate California. I'm going to make sure each and every single one of you guys has a trade and the ability to make a living. Nothing's free. We're not going to have sanctuary cities. And I know that hits a lot of Latinos in a hard spot, but we're not going to need them because I'm going to give all the Latinos that aren't immigrants, that don't have their papers, I'm going to give them an opportunity to have a work permit, not free insurance. Nothing's free in this world. You got to be like me and everybody else. You have to go and work and get what you deserve. Okay, I'm living the American dream, and I want to pass that along to everybody else. And what I mean by that is nothing was given to me free. So we're going to take the free programs out. People on welfare, yes, you're going to go back to work, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to have a trade. You're either going to go get into the trade school or you're going to go to work. And your kids, we're going to have a trade school where they're going to be watched. They're going to be taken care of. You can't get there. We'll get you a ride. It's time for somebody that actually cares about California and gives you a hand up, not a handout. Because you know that old saying, you teach a man, you feed a man fish tonight, or you give him dinner tonight, he eats one night, you teach him how to fish, he eats every night. Well, that's my theory. I want to help everybody get a job. I want to help everybody be able to be self-sustained and never have to worry about the government again. The government's a great thing, but it should stay the hell out of our lives and out of our homes and out of our churches. And they have overreached and they have done it over and over again. And it's time that somebody takes a stop to it. It's not a career politician. It's not a millionaire because they don't live the same life that we live. When I say we're in this together, we're in this together. I just paid $5 a gallon in gas, just like you did. I just went to the grocery store. I got one bag of food, over $100. We talk about water. There's water signs right outside my house saying that we're in a drought when I'm watching them throw water away. It's time that we get somebody who cares about you, me, and California, and that's why I'm the only choice for California.
Amen. And I'll close it off by the last question, which is one of the most important issues to Lexit, is what are your views on abortion, on life?
You know what, Jesse? I'm pro-life, okay? And I believe in pro-adoption. Amen. But with that being said, we have to look at the CPS system, and that's another subject that we could talk only an hour's worth on just that. But yeah, I believe that every life is valuable, and it doesn't matter what skin color you are or where you're at.
Amen. Because that's what we back. Lexit, we pro-life to the all right. Well, thank you so much for having us on.
Thank you, brother.
Go ahead, A-Rod. Close it out.
No, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. We're that's what we're trying to do on this platform is give everybody a chance. And if you guys heard something that Diego said that kind of tickled your ear, follow the brother. Follow him. We're gonna go on Lexit, follow his journey, support him if you guys like what he's saying. We've gone live with some other guys. We're gonna go live with some other candidates as well. And we all need to get in this together. We're all in this together, like the brother said. So regardless of who gets it, we're in this together, like he just said. He just went out and paid $5 for a gallon of gas, just like we do. We're all in the same boat. We're all to help each other out. So I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you taking time. We're gonna head to IG. We're gonna get it cracking. It's a little more casual on IG. So,
but first, before we go, Diego, go ahead and let everybody know how they can follow you and how if they want to donate or whatever. Go ahead and give your little spill.
Right.
Diego
Martinez for Governor.com is my website, and you can go on there, hit the little dot, donate. I want everybody to know this, especially with the scandals that's going on. I don't see any of that money that you guys donate. It actually all goes to a campaign treasury who takes care of it all. Right now, I can say this. I've been self-funding my own campaign. I don't have a lot of money in my campaign fund, but I've been taking it out of my pocket, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I believe in the future of California. I am on all social medias. Diego Martinez for Governor. Diego Martinez for Governor.com is my website, and you can donate there, and every little bit's appreciated. And if I know times are tough, you can't afford to help me donate, share and like my videos and get the word out, because that's the biggest donation anybody can really give me.
All right. Well, thank you so
All
much
right.
for coming on again, Diego, and best of luck, man. And everybody, that's Diego Martinez for running for governor from California.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Y'all
Thank
next week.